Hello, and you're listening to WITZ, the WITZ, the one place for all things music, art, and entertainment right here in Douglas County, Oregon. I'm your host, Mr. Colin Hurwitz, and thank you for joining us today. This recording is brought to you by 10 Down Bowling, Splits Bar and Grill, and Top It Express. Edward Jones, New Visions Eye Care, Wicks Emmett, Car Within Pianos Plus, World Stage and Lighting, the Gene Bechtel School for Music, Spiderking Studios, and the Douglas County Music Association. And we're also happy to have your help as well. Let me tell you a little bit about where your money goes. We have three primary missions. One is to create opportunities for performance for Douglas County musicians and anybody who's visiting. Two is to provide scholarships and sponsorships to academics and young professionals. And of course, three is to provide instruments, lessons, and studio space to students in need. And here's the different tier memberships of our program. $300 will make you part of our bronze tier membership. That helps us with instruments and lessons. $500 will make you part of our silver tier, and that helps us get scholarships and sponsorships to students. And $1,000 puts you in the gold tier. That allows us to pay for venues and large performance avenues for our performers. If you're ready to donate today, please go to Venmo at OregonDCMA. And if that doesn't work for you, you can also write a check or bring cash to the Gene Bechtel School for Music, addressed to the Douglas County Music Association or DCMA. Hey, check this out.
What's up, guys? Coming at you live, and we're at the pond, and I got a friend with me. What's up, Mr. Hurwitz?
Hey, remember me? Hey, kids.
We're out here. We are destroying some trout today. We're at a special place here in the middle of Douglas County, and it is just on fire today. You'll see. All right, we are fishing for trout today, and we're using the good old reliable night crawlers. And we're gonna catch some fish today, isn't that right, sir? Yeah. Indeed. And I went ahead and adjusted your bobber slightly too, so now you're fishing a little bit deeper. You're welcome. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are fishing very simply today. All we've got on is a bobber, a sinker, and a night crawler. And for that combination is very deadly for rainbow trout, which is our target species today. Mr. Hurwitz, have at it. You're gonna catch a fish on this first cast.
I'm still learning how to do this, and I don't want to hook you in, so I'm going to be very careful.
Beautifully done, sir.
Now, what are we looking for as far as... I see him swimming, you see that?
Oh yeah, no, this pond is very active. In fact, actually this pond that we're fishing right now is actually a helicopter pond. You got a fish. Oh, you had him. You lost him, yep. That's all right. Oh, you're getting bit again. Really wait for that bobber to go all the way down and start moving. They're just taking very fast. Oh my goodness, there are so many. This pond is absolutely loaded with trout, ladies and gentlemen. I think you might have lost your bait, actually. Hello everyone, this is me in post. Wanted to make a quick clarification on this species of newt that Colin is reeling in here. This is called a rough-skinned newt, and they're pretty common here in the Pacific Northwest. And one of the things that's really dangerous about them, their skin produces a highly toxic poison, which can actually become fatal to humans and animals alike. So pets and yourself. Very, very unsafe. They're safe to touch, but if eaten, can prove deadly. You gotta treat these things very carefully. We got fingers. These things are weird. All right, here's what we're gonna do. That worked pretty darn well.
Did you just shake him off?
I did. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is an interesting day out here on the water. Switched. I got myself a spinner. If you're a trout fisherman, you recognize this color pattern here. Good old Panther Martin. We've got trout swimming everywhere out here. Let's see what we can do with this.
Today's episode is brought to you by... Oh my God.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are seeing right here a bald eagle. He's gonna get a fish. folks, you were seeing this in real time. That is in fact a bald eagle. Oh, you got one. You got him, Colin. He's hooked. He's hooked. And he's gonna be cooked. Nice. Colin, is this your first rainbow trout ever?
Yes.
Congratulations to you, good sir. Go and flop it up here on the bank.
Ladies and gentlemen, I did it.
You caught a fish.
It happened in real time. I'm
Bring
very,
him
very happy.
bring him to me.
I gotta be very careful.
Don't worry, remember, surf it's like 10 kilos.
Sure.
Don't feel
Oh, that was almost it. Oh, got him. 2 for 2. The man, the myth, the legend. Oh, it's a good one, too. Oh, my goodness gracious. Would you look at that? Wow.
Oh no! Oh what?
Popped off right at the bank.
Oh!
That happens.
Oh, could have cooked some wings.
We could have done a catch and cook. Ladies and gentlemen, drop a comment down below if you want us to do a catch and cook next episode.
I say yes, but we'll see if we got it.
Again, leave a comment if you'd like us to do a catch and cook. Oh, 3 for 3. Oh, jumper. You got him that time. Oh, 2 for. Nice fish. Bring it up here. Get up on the bank. Get up on the bank. Yeah. Got him. Nice work, sir.
Hey.
Outstanding. With the flip-flops on, too. Flip-flop bite. Ladies and gentlemen,
I am really having a good time.
beautiful specimen of a rainbow trout. Good sir. Congratulations. I actually have a stringer here I like to keep my fish on because we're going to take these home and eat them so that they're bled properly. All right, this gets the blood out of the fish's body and ensures that your meat is yummy. Oh, got him. On the rooster tail. Oh, it's a good one. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I can be a fisherman sometimes too and catch them. Oh, look at that one. That is a beauty. That is a beautiful specimen right there. Look at that beautiful rainbow trout. Thank you. Well, folks, right about here is where my phone ran out of storage, so I wasn't able to record the rest of our trip, but we ended up successfully completing a 5 trout limit. Here in the state of Oregon, you can legally keep 5 trout per day as per Department of Fish and Wildlife regulations. We had a great time out here. It's a great place to be. No one else except us out there, and lots of trout for us to catch. So, thank you for your support, and I hope you all enjoyed watching this installment.
All right, welcome. I'm Michael Wheeler over at the Gene Bechtel School for Music. This is our synthesizer room. So it's about as organized as it ever is. Starting over here, you'll notice we have a lot of Behringer clones, just because it was like we could buy one ARP 2600 or like easily 10 clones of other Behringer equipment. This is a recreation, a pretty faithful recreation of the ARP 2600. It's the Behringer equivalent. This was what made R2-D2's voice in Star Wars. And then over there we've got a toy keyboard, which is an FM synthesizer. FM synthesis is basically the modulation of one sound wave with another sound wave. And the Yamaha Corporation really capitalized off of that with the Yamaha DX7. I used to have a DX7, I don't have it anymore. But they included that technology in a lot of their toy keyboards, where they had kind of the same modularity functions that they were including in their pro stuff. So those have become actually pretty popular in recent years.
Over here, we have the Korg Volca series. This was analog synthesizers that they came out with to kind of emulate the sound of 1980s house and electronic music. You've got the keys, which is a monophonic analog synthesizer, a drum machine, and then one of many TB303 recreations in the Volca bass there. Down here, we've got more Behringer clones. Those don't get used very much. Here's a Volca FM synthesizer there, which now I've disturbed it. Now I have to figure out how to get everything back. Stay. Okay. Moving on over here, this kind of begins what I call the Casio corner. We have, not Casio, but it's a Hammond organ, which gets used from time to time. Most of the software recreations of Hammond are pretty faithful, so this doesn't actually get used all that much, but it's really nice, and it's got a speaker, and so it's really nice to mic the speaker from time to time. Here's the Casio corner. This represents most of my Casio keyboard collection, and starting with the 701, and I always wanted a 701, and I found one in a pawn shop in Alabama, and I basically had to beg them to ship it to me, but the 701 uses sine wave synthesis, which they thought would be a big hit, but nobody really liked it at the time. Since then, it's kind of become a little bit more popular. Over here, we have the HT700. This was used in a lot of British pop electronic stuff. The Tone Bank 670. This is a toy keyboard, but it gives you some of the same modulation offers that some of the FM synthesizers did. Down here, the slightly more professional keyboards. These are both analog keyboards, but my prize and my pride and joy is the Casio 405. I bought, these are notoriously delicate and they break very easily. So I bought 4 units, and then we had to cobble together the parts out of 4 units to make one working 405. It ended up costing about 4 times as much as it should have. But there's just something magical about it. Okay, so over here we have the workstation. I would say probably easily 85% of what happens in the studio happens here for software synthesis. Even with all of these keyboards, the vast majority of sounds that we use are software generated, which is why we have a secondary computer here to run. If we're running Contact, on one, it's nice to be able to run like East-West or something like that off of another computer, so that the CPU is not too bogged down. Over here is the Behringer DeepMind. This is not a clone, and frankly, for my money, it's the best keyboard that Behringer's ever produced, clones included. This is, I forget, TC Electronics, that's who partnered with them to do that. It's a fully analog, digitally controlled keyboard. Then we have the Korg i3. The Korg i3 is basically just a Rompler, and it just has some really nice sounds on it. It doesn't get used that much. Here's another Yamaha FM synthesizer. It's 1980s all over again. Down here is another Behringer clone of the Monopoly, the Korg Monopoly. Good for making all sorts of spooky sounds. Yeah. Over here we've got the mixer. We've got an Alesis. What is that? Ion. The Ion. This is an analog modeling synth, and analog modeling was basically in the late 1990s, early 2000s. A lot of companies tried to recreate analog circuitry in a software environment, which is done all the time now with software synths on the computer, but it was really cutting edge at the time, and it's a great keyboard, lots of wonderful sounds. Another Behringer clone, an 808 clone, which is just mandatory these days. Over here, more Casios. This is the Casio PX and XW synthesizers. They were another foray into like the professional world of synthesis from Casio that never really caught on, but they're great keyboards and with lots of great sounds. These don't get used much at all. This is like a Korg Triton controller. It's just a keyboard controller with all of Triton's sounds from the early 2000s. Over here, we've got the Casio Tone CT6500. It's an analog keyboard aimed at the home market. Oops, helps if you turn it on. With just really, really remarkable analog circuitry and just great great sounds. So over here, more Behringer. There's an Akai Rhythm Wolf down there, which almost never gets used. These are Behringer clones, 2 TB303 clones with 1 TR606 clone, and then this is nice. This is a boutique synthesizer that it's basically a what is it called? A Raspberry Pi computer. But it runs emulation of a Nintendo 64 sound chip. And so that's why the color scheme is the way it is to give, those old video game sounds. So those are super fun to work with. Then we've got the, what are these? This shows you how much I use these. Drum machine and keyboard, IK Multimedia, that's who puts these out. And they're both analog synthesizers, analog drum machine, analog synthesizer, which I think I've used on maybe like 2 recordings in my whole life. Here's the Yamaha EOS. This is basically, you could think of it as kind of like a DX7 FM synthesizer, but with using presets instead of having the control of like creating your own patches. The idea was that you would buy cards with FM frequency modulation presets and plug that in so that you wouldn't have to worry about frequency modulation yourself, which is, it's very, very difficult to master, frequency modulation programming. Here's a Yamaha organ. This is actually pre-Electone. This is before the Electones came out. I don't remember which model this is. But this is just a fantastic sounding organ. That's actually wound up on a lot of recordings. Okay, and then lastly, we've skipped over a lot, but this is the mini keyboard area. We have the Radio Shack edition of the Casio Rap Man. I think they call it Rap Master in this, so it's got the like the DJ wheel. This is more fun than should be allowed. And then this was the Yamaha series of smaller boutique keyboards. Here's the Yamaha Reface is what they're called, and their DX Reface, which is basically just like a scaled down version of the DX7 kind of recreation, and then just some Korg, stuff. There's a Theramini up here. That's kind of cool. Don't use it that much because, again, software recreations are a little bit easier to work with. And then this one was kind of bought on a whim because it showed up in a garage sale, but it's the Akai Timberwolf. And I guess that keyboard has become a lot more desirable since I bought it. I hardly ever use it though. So that's mostly it. If people are interested in using this space or any of the keyboards here, we do rent the keyboards. You can give us a call for options and prices, or you could just come in and jam. So thank you very much.
Welcome, welcome, Bob.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, the pleasure is all mine, Bob. So, let's get right into it. Tell me, Bob, why do you want to work at our company?
Well, I've heard great things about your business, Mr. Smith. And I've always been very interested in paper.
Paper. Fascinating.
Did you just...
Use technology beyond all comprehension to open a portal so that I can show you where our paper comes from? We like to keep things interesting around here, Bob. So, let's move on to your qualifications. Do you have any experience with underwater basket weaving?
No, I can't say I have. But I'm sure I could learn quickly. Oh, wow. This is quite the immersive interview, Mr. Smith.
We spare no expense for top talent, Bob. All right, next question. How do you handle alien invasions?
Alien invasions. Alien invasions? I'd probably just run. This interview just got out of this world.
Bob, you are a jokester. Oh, such a great sense of humor. We value that kind of thing here in this company. All right, let's wrap this up before the aliens decide to abduct us now, shall we? All right. Well, that seems to be about all, Bob. Well, it's been a pleasure meeting with you, Bob. We'll get in touch about this position.
It's a pleasure to be here, sir. I promise I'll be ready for anything if I get the job.
He was a little too much for me.
And now our feature presentation.
Well, I'm getting mighty tired of working 9 to 5. I'm thinking about hitting the road. But I got 2 babies and a dog and a woman, and these hills are a heavy load. And if I told you that it wasn't about the money, oh honey, I'd be lying to you. 'Cause these babies are relying on the frying pan frying, they don't take no wild use. Well, I'm singing that soul music, that rock and roll music, that liver-dove kind of stuff to take away worry, I'll make you lose control music. And you got a voice to use it. Well, the world gets you down if you ain't dancing all around, baby. Yes, you're singing that soul music. I've been going hard all day. I've been working these fingers to the bone. But when it come time to get off and draw my pay, well, I always take the quick way home. Well, I walk right through the door, some happy little people and some loving in the kitchenette. I got a smile on my face and a boogie in my walk as I get that table set. Well, I'm singing that soul music, that rock and roll music, that lovey-dovey kind of stuff to take away your worry, I'll make you lose control music. When you got a voice, you use it. Well, the world gets you down if you ain't dancing all around, baby. It's singing that soul music. Well, you can't carry a tune in the bucket. Hey, you ain't got much to say. Well, your rhythm's out of time and you can't find a rhyme just to sing it anyway. Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm singing that soul music, whipping that rock and roll music. And lovey-dovey kind of stuff to take away your worry, I'll make you lose control music. When you got a voice, you use it. Well, the world gets you down if you ain't dancing all around, baby. It's singing that soul music. When that rock and roll music, that lovey-dovey kind of stuff to take away your worries, make you lose control music. When you got a voice, you use it. Well, the world gets you down if you ain't dancing all around, baby. Just singing that soul music. It's singing that soul music. It's singing that soul music. Well, I'm a liar and I'm a cheat. Hey, I'm a taker and I'm a thief. Well, I'm everything you ever said I was. Hell, I'm a man on fire, walking across the tight wire. Don't go pushing me off, don't go putting me out. You can tell your friends and your family, but they can't truly see what you mean to me. Don't go telling on me. Don't throw me out with the water. Well, and I'm begging you, please, baby, please, baby, please, don't go throw my cover. When you were right and I was wrong, well, and you have every right. Now I write in every song, yeah, I sang it every night. And I'm gonna sing it out loud every night. Someday soon, when my memory fade away, well, I'll be left here waiting on my judgment day. Don't go telling on me. Don't throw me out with the water. Hell, and I'm begging you, hey, and baby, please, don't go blowing my cover. Well, baby, please. Don't go blowing my cover. Well, I'm in some kind of mood today. Clouds of my emotion gonna move your way. Be right there, wherever you are. And late at night when it's cold outside, wanna be that man. Hold you tight, put the pan on the fire, baby. Yeah, we heat it up. Well, babe, we can fill our cup. Cause you're as fine as hot wine. Hate the taste of your body, gonna soothe my mind. Yeah, we'll mull it over. I wanna be your lover. Here's fine, yes, hot wine. Yes, you as the Romans do. We'll fake it till we make it till it's really true. That can bring your heart, and we can seize the night. Let's tear down them walls. We can see what we can find. Well, cause you're as fine as hot wine. Hey, the taste of your body gonna soothe my mind. It will mull it over. I wanna be your lover. Here's fine, yeah, it's hot wine. Well, I want them lazy moves slow. Hell so hot, baby, that you're gonna glow. Well, we'll move through the night, yeah, we'll get it right. Yeah, we're as fine as hot wine. Hey, the taste of your body, I'm gonna soothe my mind. Yeah, we'll mull it over. I wanna be your lover. Here it's fine, yeah, it's hot wine. Yeah, you're as fine as hot wine. Yeah, you're as fine as hot wine. It's all aboard that funny train. Don't you buckle up, don't you refrain. Here tells Joe, Mama smoking great little cane. Well, it's all aboard that funny train. So you say you need vacation. Head on down to your local station. Head and buy a ticket for your destination. Get back, relax, enjoy your libation. Whoa, and it's all aboard that funny train. Choo choo. Buckle up now, don't you refrain. Tell a joke, now the bum smoke, praise the little king. It's all aboard that funny train. Ain't everybody wanna ride that caboose and ride that thing that rails run loose? Well, Lord, I'm gonna be on it all day night. If I ain't getting on till the moonlight, yeah. What's all aboard that funny train? Won't you buckle up and don't you refrain? I want you to tell a joke and from the swore rain, little cane. It's all aboard that funny train. It's all aboard that funny train. My name's Neil Gregory Johnson. I'm a singer-songwriter from Roseburg, Oregon. Been doing music for over 20 years. I've toured the country several, or at least the Western United States several times, and then toured the greater United States once. Played on some big stages over the years with some bigger artists, Iron and Wine, Charlie Crockett. I don't know, kind of getting out of music these days, but I'm playing here and there. Just kind of taking a break from trying to do the thing, you know. I have 2 kids, so I like being a dad, being close to my kids more so than anything. Really don't have much going on these days. My parents played music growing up, so I grew up in bars and all that, and so I grew up with that lifestyle, and until recently, I've been trying to make some changes in that way and not be hanging out at the bars as much. So I'm sure that'll influence my songwriting down the line. But what got me into music? I grew up with my parents playing music in bars. They played in bar bands and played like country, honky-tonk, blues. My mom sings a lot like Janis Joplin. She's great. And my dad played guitar. So I remember being a little kid, and all of our
furniture was music equipment, big speakers, and those were our end tables in our living room. And so whenever there was a gig, our living room was pretty empty. So that was a thing. And I grew up with, my mom also had a DJ business, so she had all these CDs and tapes that she would take out to disc jockey with. And so I had like every single country artist that was a hit maker, like all the classic rock, and so I used to play these CDs and listen to them. And so I remember Leonard Skinner was one of the first ones I really liked, and Queen and Garth Brooks, the Eagles, stuff like that. And then I became a music nerd after that and started getting into heavy metal and punk rock. My mom had punk rock stuff too, so the Ramones were a thing. But yeah, I guess that's how I got into it. And I started playing guitar when I was about 12 years old. I think like a lot of people who play music are always trying to search for their identity or create some kind of identity, So when I was a little kid, I always wanted to fit in with some sort of like group. I feel like, so like punk rock and metal, there was like the metalheads, and you wanted to be like that. And then there's the punk rockers, and so you wanted to, sort of create these scenes. I don't know, at least I did. So I would just, pretend I was something like that and play that kind of music. And then I played with, but I was always kind of free in the way that like I'd go and play with my mom's band, my dad's band, and I'd back up guitar on like all these old Beatles songs and all these too. So, I always wanted to play like I was too cool for that stuff. But music's always just kind of like a weird way of creating identity, sort of like any kind of genre of thing. If you like to cook, that becomes your identity. After a while, you start to realize you're like, this isn't my identity at all. I'm actually just observing. The real me, my soul is just observing what's my ego. And so I guess music's always been kind of an ego thing maybe. But then I like this style of music. It's kind of my roots. It's where I, was born around. My parents always played this kind of music. And then I like the containment and the simplicity of punk rock songs. So I kind of write in that style, if that makes sense. I don't know if it does or not. I always think about, I don't know, I think about music as just a means to travel. So if I can get out on the road and make enough money to pay for gas and food, then cool. I don't really care about hitting it big or anything now. I thought about it. I thought about playing that. I played that game for a little while, and then COVID hit and kind of just threw me off. And then, which was kind of a blessing too, because I look back on it and I'm like, I could have been closer to more authentic, I feel like I'm pretty authentic to myself now. I'm true to myself. And now, as true to myself as I am, I've realized that I don't even really care about playing music for a living anymore. So go out and mow a lawn, go play, if I'm feeling good, play some songs for some people if we're having fun at a party. And if anything happens from that, then cool, I'm just kind of living life and enjoying my life. Yeah, pick up a guitar and play. Just life should be fun, man. It shouldn't be about thinking too much, People get crazy about making their own identity and making all these plans, and then they get older and realize it's all a bunch of BS, So music's great for just kind of meditating and staying in the moment. And that's what we should be doing anyway. Just kind of enjoy our life in the moment and not worry too much about the future or the past. And that's what music's good for. So that's what it's good for me anyway. Yeah, I don't have any steady gigs right now. Kind of been taking a break from playing out. I guess I'm playing this place called Joseph Jane coming up here. It's a winery. So I played that a while back. Other than that, there's all the breweries and there's lots of cool local music around here. Like, there's a few bands that are really cool. Draper has a jam session brewery over there, Sometimes you might find me in there. I'll go jam out with everybody else. But yeah, I mean, I don't really, unfortunately, I don't really have much going on right now. I mean, you can check out my website, neilgregoryjohnson.com, and I've got music on there that I put on from my last record. I did a record in town here with a bunch of local musicians, and it's on Spotify and all the things, all the places. So yeah, that's about it. I got a YouTube channel. Go follow that, subscribe to that. But yeah, I'm sure if you go follow all that stuff, it has my shows on there. I'll update the shows as we go. So if you do want to see me play live and want to come hang out with me, just go to my website and follow that, and my shows will be on there. My name is Neil Gregory Johnson. I've had a blast being here with these guys, and thanks for having me on the program.
Well, that seems to be all the time we have left for today. Tune in next week for another great episode of the WITZ, the WITZ, brought to you by the Douglas County Music Association and so many other great sponsors. Again, if you're willing to donate now, you can send a check to 1622 Northeast Vine Street at Roseburg, Oregon 97470, or you can go to our Venmo at OregonDCMA. We can't wait to hear from you. That's all the time we have. Until next time, bye everyone.